analyzing SERPs or search engine result pages, also known as reverse engineering Google. We are going to go over how to view search results and then use that information to improve our own SEO strategy. So first, what are SERPs? SERP stands for Search Engine Results Page. It's the page or the list of results that a search engine like Google would show after you search for something, after you type in a query. Analyzing the SERPs shows us what is working and gives us a direction and plan, or a direction to head in and a plan to follow. So how to analyze a SERP? First, open up a search engine, preferably in an incognito window or a private browser. Search for a term a keyword that you are interested in, and then you manually review the results. So what are we looking for in a SERP? And we'll give some examples here in just a second. But we want to look at the type of content. Are there ads, and what type of ads? Are there Google business profiles? Are there people also ask questions? Are there videos, directories, social sites? We want to look at the title tags of our main competitors, the meta description of our competitors, the H1s of our competitors. And then what do we do with that information? We note down what's important, we set a plan of action for our own site, and then we begin working that plan and tracking the results. So let's go over a couple of examples here. I'm going to move myself over here. So I have three different terms. We have plumber near me, red running shoes, and how to fix a leaky sink. And we are going to look at what's Google giving us. So first, for plumber near me, initially we get local service ads. So I'm going to note that down. If I'm working with a client or if I am a plumber, I need to know that, hey, local service ads are showing up at the top here. And so that's something that I might want to consider doing. Next, we have traditional pay-per-click ads. So I'd also note that. So you have local service ads, you have traditional pay-per-click ads, and you also have an ad in the Google business profile. So I'm noting those down. Then obviously you have the Google business profile showing up here, and so that's going to be important. We're going to want to make sure we have an optimized Google business profile. Scrolling down further, we have people also ask questions. So I'm going to note those down. I will write down each of these questions, and then typically I will want to have content on my website that addresses these questions. One, it should be helpful for people, and two, I could potentially grab one of these spaces here. Then we're going to start to look at the traditional organic results here and what sites are showing up. So we have Roto-Rooter, big national company. We have Yelp, a directory. We have Dalmatian Plumbing. We have the Better Business Bureau, another directory. We have Mr. Plumber Atlanta, Angie's List, another directory, and so forth. So I'm going to look at the first page here, and what am I looking for? One, are there directory sites? In this case, yes, we know we have Yelp, we have the Better Business Bureau, we have Angie's List, Ask Atkins Plumbing, that's not a directory, Angie's List again down here. So one, this all tells me these are, if I can get at the top of Angie's List or the Better Business Bureau or Yelp, by proxy, I can get towards the top of Google. And so I would want to make sure that I have profiles that are well set up and optimized for each of these directory sites. I then want to look at the top 3 to 5 competitors. There are tools that can help with this, but you can also manually go through, and I want to see, okay, what pages do they have here? So in this case, they have a specific page for Swanee. In this case, they have a specific page for Swanee. That's the town I'm in. In this page, they have a specific page for Swanee. What does that tell me? It means to be competitive, I probably need a specific Swanee page. I would then check some of the key things, like what's the title of these pages. I'd note those down. Like they have plumber near me in Swanee as an example. These guys have Swanee plumbers near me. These guys have Mr. Plumber Swanee. So anyway, I'm noting on the title. My title is going to want to be in line with what we have here. I'm going to check similarly their H1. And so what do they, they have Swanee, Georgia plumbers near you is the H1 here. I would do that for each site. And then I would want to just review the page here and like how much content do they have? Do they have pictures? Do they have videos? How are the pages set up? We know that these pages are at the top of Google, and so we are going to want our page to typically be in line with what they have. I want to note all of this, and so we developed a content optimization template that kind of goes through this, so where we'll check off what type of content, do they have ads, do they have Google business profiles, and then we just have a space for notes there. But so we'll do that for each page and search term that we're looking for. We'll go over to red running shoes. So this is, the plumber near me, that's a local service. Red running shoes, this is going to be an e-commerce term. And so things that I'm looking for, one, and you could do this for the plumber near me, where they give sort of other search terms. And so, if they're saying cheap plumber near me, or top rated plumber near me, or 24-hour plumber near me, like those could be terms that we would want to add into our page. For our red running shoes example, we could get narrow by men's, women's, kids, boys, girls. All of these are category pages that would that we could potentially make to target those terms. Obviously other colors and so forth. Then we're looking up here, we have ads that are up at the top here. Then we have the popular product pages down here. So we're just going to want to look and see, okay, all right, we may want to consider running ads. Is our website set up to where Google can display product pages? I forget the correct term for this, but display our products here. And then we're going to look at the top competitors here. Nike, Amazon, Dick's, Adidas. Like these are pretty obviously very high authority sites, and so those are things to potentially consider. Would be, even here, like you could kind of sneak in the images here. That's something to be mindful of. People also ask, what I was going to say up here is, competing directly here would be very challenging. Not to say that it can't be done, but looking for workarounds, and so making sure that we can our products show up on here. If we have deals, making sure that's we have that listed. Images, that's a way that we can get up there. That people also ask, that's a way that we can get up there. Reddit and other forums, those are other places where, hey, this is showing up on the top of Google, and so it could make sense for us to try to get up there. But then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to look at how are these pages set up, titles, headers, and so forth there. And here you may have more luck as you get more narrow on the e-commerce side. So if you had like kids, red running shoes, and so forth. And then last, we're going to do another thing here, where these pages were all location service pages. Here, these are typically going to be category pages. And so if you were trying to sell red running shoes, it's not going to be the specific product that's going to be showing up here, but it would be a category page where you probably have multiple products of red running shoes. Last one to look at, how to fix a leaky sink. So this is backed by plumbers again, but it's going to be instead of looking specifically for a plumber, I'm looking for information. And so things to note again, they do have ads showing up here. So that's one thing to note. If you're a plumber, you could be running local service ads that show up there. They have the AI overview here. We're not going to get into AI right now, but it's good to note that's probably going to become a bigger and bigger piece to search. But then really we're looking at what types of content are here. We're typically going to have blog posts. And so this is a blog, and then you can see the title of it, the H1 of it. They have a video up here. They have images, and they have very clear steps. I'm assuming these steps are going to be headers. Yes, that's there. This is result number 2, also a blog post. It was updated fairly recently, or this a little bit earlier this year. They don't have a video. They do have images. Checking the H1s and H2s. They have the steps as H3s here. They don't have as much. This is it's a good page, but it's a page that I think you could be competitive here on it. So you're going through and you're looking at that, and what do we know? We know that we need to have a page that has clear steps, that has images on it. There's people also ask, I would be mindful of that. We have videos up here, so if I were trying to be competitive, in addition to the blog, I almost certainly would want to have a video as well that walks through that. There's lots of forums here, so these are all places where we could then be active on. Even here, I mean, you have the Reddit forums and so forth. You have Stack Exchange forum. You have Quora coming down here. You have another Reddit post down here. So point of all of this again though is we want to go through and we want to see what is showing up. We want to then note those things down. And again, we'll come back to this list here, but what type of content? Is it a product page? Is it a category page? Is it a local service page? Is it a blog post? If it's a blog post that's showing up and we're trying to target it with a local service page or vice versa, we're not going to be successful. Are there ads? It doesn't mean you have to run ads, but it's helpful to know. If we're working with a client, we want to try to get them on the top of search results as often as possible. And knowing that, hey, we can show up here as an ad, we can show up as a Google business profile, we can show up as an organic result, like we could show up in Angie's list. Like there might be 4, 5, 6 places where we could potentially get our clients on the first page of Google, which brings a lot of value to them. Google business profiles, people also ask, videos, directories, we hit all of those, social sites, and then actually looking at, for the main competitors, looking at the titles, the meta descriptions, the H1s, and we're noting that all down, and then we are going to use all of this to inform our strategy. So, our titles, our meta description, our H1s, those should all be in range of what's at the top of Google. If there are directories, we want to make sure that we're in a directory. If there are videos, we probably would be helpful to make a video for that. If there are social sites, we want to be active on the social sites. You don't have to do all of this, but the more that you do and the more that you're learning, the better position and the better shot you're going to have at doing a good job for yourself or for your clients. Then, I mean, we'll go through this whole sheet right here, but basically, however you want to do it, we track all of it, and then we begin to make changes. And then so we might add a video, or we might update our H1 or our title, and then we'll make a change, and then we will check and see, okay, how are we doing for these main keywords after we have made these changes. Maybe give it 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then you go back and then you make another round of change, and you continue to iterate until you have your page ideally ranking where it should be ranking. Now there's more than just the on-page pieces to it. You get into backlinks and domain authority and page authority and all of that, but right now we're just looking at how do we look at a search result and how does that then inform how we should be creating content.